Hello, it's Allison, and once again, I'm back with another article response. This week is social media career growth in 2019 and what you need to know. So, of course, this article is really awesome because we're going into PR, we're going into an industry that heavily focuses on social media. So, we really should know the industry we're getting into, what kind of jobs we should be looking for post grad, and kind of know the basic roles that we're going to do. I think one thing I really loved right off the bat was that social media is a huge growing industry, and there are 1,357% increase in social media positions, which is an insane number of positions that are opening up basically every day in the field of social media. So there is a lot of work. That being said, there's a lot of work for people who know how to do the right work. You can't just hop into a social media job and expect that because you run your own personal Instagram super well that you'll be able to run a company or brand's Instagram the same way. So you have to really be highly trained in social media and really know what you're doing. So the article kind of went through a lot of different roles in social media, and there's a lot of them. I'm not going to go through them, but what I noticed was that basically all the roles have a lot of overlap. When you're in social media, it's like a constantly changing industry, and you have to adapt to the climate of the world and things going on. So your day-to-day roles in the company in social media are gonna look different basically every day. So as the field constantly changes, you have to change with it, which is why I think it's really hard to hone in on these particular roles and job descriptions, because I think when you go into it, you're going into all of it, and you can't really just say, okay, I'm just doing strategy, I'm just doing content posts, I'm just creating specific things, but you're kind of going into the whole broad scheme of it. The other thing that we love to talk about is how much money we're going to be making. So it's said that after a few years, you're going to make around 75,000 US dollars after a few years of experience. And I think this is interesting because people like to think of people in social media as like really rich, and although this is like a really decent amount of money, it's not a whole bunch of money. And I think what people do in social media is they have their main job, and then they also have like side gigs. So say they're like a personal social media manager for a celebrity or influencer or whatever, and then they also have different jobs. So I think a lot of people in the social media industry like to do freelance work, which is where they can like have a side income. So on top of your like $75,000 base pay in your main job, you have all these side gigs, and it's kind of a constant hustle, which is something that I love to do. I love to hustle. I love to do side gigs. So I think this is a really interesting way to kind of expand how much money you are able to make in the industry. And that's all for today.